Disclaimer: the opinions expressed specifically by Ezra do not reflect the opinions of Eliran Avni. In fact, some of them will probably be censored. We know most of you don't like Mozart, but hear us out.
Hello everybody and welcome to episode 2 of Ezra and Eliran, and this time we're going to butcher Mozart, right Ezra?
That's right.
That's right. What are we doing today?
We're gonna my Mozart.
Because Ezra has some issues with Mozart. Ezra, you wanted to describe?
I love Mozart. He's the greatest.
But truth be told, I had problems with Mozart myself growing up. I really didn't get what everybody was raving about, and it's only when I got to my doctoral program, and it was actually a question they asked me in the interview, which was my favorite Mozart opera, and I said, I don't like Mozart operas, I prefer Debussy.
This is absurd.
Yeah, I still got in, I don't know why. But yeah, I can understand why Mozart would pose a problem to a young pianist. Funny thing is that really what solved it for me was the operas. It was the magic of Figaro. It was the marriage of Figaro that solved it for me, because after watching a beautiful production of, I think it was the Metropolitan Opera, it suddenly made clear to me that it's really not about the keyboard. It's really not about sort of putting this composer in a box. It's really about seeing it as an opera unfolding or a movie unfolding, or there are characters and there's humor and there's a lot of joy in the music.
It's a piece about love.
Love. Again.
And it's new. It's entirely new. It's so new that people will go mad for it.
But as pianists, when we see it, we go into this, uh-oh.
Occasionally, it seems to have too many notes.
There are a couple of spots harmonically that are confusing.
Okay.
Flashback to my recital. What a horrible dream.
Uh-oh. Is that the intersection thing where you're going,
Modulated.
So the thing to remember about that is that most sonata forms will have that feature where you're playing one thing in one key in the exposition, and then that same thing appears differently in the recap, right? So the thing I like to say is that it's like, taking directions. You get to the same turnaround, right? And you just have to make a different exit. You just have to consciously go in there and go, okay, this time I'm in this key, next time I'm in the other key. And sort of think about it before it happens. Before it happens. Not during, not after, before. Why don't you play a phrase for us?
Sure.
Okay, that's not bad. That's actually quite good. Do you have problems with this?
Yeah, just starting it.
Why?
Well, just getting the balance between the left hand and the right hand has always been kind of a big problem for me.
Right. So I think for the left hand, for the Alberti bass here, what you want to do, there's a minute amount of rotation. So you want to feel the weight of the key and then just oscillate between those. You don't want to, the bigger the motion here, the louder it's going to be. So why don't you try, the elbow motion is this gentle half a circle. It will also help you to go here to the next harmony. In that there's tiny amount of rotation. This is the hardest part, how to get to the two. Here's the trick. You can press both these notes silently, feel the depth of the key, find that point of sound, and then don't release them all the way. You can't see, but his eyebrows are like... Now, the real trick is to come in with... a lot of character. Don't look at me like that.
Shouldn't it be a bit more? Or this? This. Yes.
I think this video is really about us trying to find ways of infusing energy into this music, because it really is in a lot of ways stifling. You're trying to hit the right notes. It has to be stylistically correct. Yes pedal, no pedal. It's so delicate, it's so fragile, and I think that the immediate reaction of all of us is to just go and not want to approach it. Really, you're just trying to keep it pristine, and I think that's the kiss of death. I think anytime you're trying to keep something pristine is when you're going to get into trouble. So a nice exercise is to try and improvise something on this line and just change the notes a little bit. It's something that he would have done anyways. He would have never have played this the way it's notated. We are fixated with this idea of bow to Mozart, bow to the score, and this is a bad edition, and we need to find the burn right, and we need to find exactly what Mozart intended. But I don't think that ever crossed his mind, right, that we would be doing it. I think that he thought that we would be such great musicians, we should hope, that we would know how to improvise. So Ezra, just do something different on this line. Just invent something. Wait, whichever one you want, doesn't matter.
Cool.
Ooh. Okay, or something on the first line. Maybe the first line is easier. You can play it, just play. So you have the bass, you have the left, and then let's make up a different melody. So instead of that beautiful tune that he wrote, this is an Ezra original. Go. Yeah, do it, that's great.
Sounds like the Suzuki method.
You're still staying pretty close to it. Or and why am I doing it? You go like, well, that doesn't sound as good as Mozart. Of course it isn't, because I'm not Mozart. But the point is that your hand is not so stressed over exactly every note. It just has a little bit more freedom. So when you go to his tune, first of all, you appreciate that he was the genius and you are not, which is important, right? But then yeah, that's so much better than even what I did before, because it's much simpler and much less affected.
What is this? I don't understand. Is it modern?
So here's the thing. You know that, if you watched the video about, the emotional progression and all of that stuff, I'm a firm believer that you have to have a really specific script in your head, or a visual or an image or something that the music correlates to. So then when you are going on stage and you have to start playing this, that you have something in your head. Like, you really can't come, tabula rasa type and show up and go, oh, this is beautiful. It's just not going to work. It's not strong enough. Now, what that image is can be, it's totally up to you, because nobody knows really what's going on in your mind as you're playing this. It's sort of optimistic and joyful. It's like, you wake up in the morning, you go,
I'm gonna rob a bank.
yeah, kind of. Oh, they're going to find a cure for COVID.
There we go.
There's hope, there's joy, there's a lot of optimism, and I think that's the thing that really gets people who have a hard time playing Mozart, is that I don't think we normally wake up with that level of optimism, or at least I don't wake up with that level of optimism.
Right.
And to be able to connect to it, you really need to work hard. You really need to make sure that you are in the character's world, you're in their environment, you're experiencing what they're experiencing, and that you embed with a lot of enthusiasm. So one thing that you could do, I would make the quarter note a little bit lighter and more staccato. He had a crazy sense of humor. If you ever watch the Medeiros, there's a lot of, fart jokes, there's a lot of obscenities. He was not this goody two-shoes, right? So this has a little bit of a wink. I don't know what he's plotting there or what she's plotting, but it ain't so good, right? It's like a twinkle in the eye. It's like, let's go rob a bank. Pay the mortgage. It's not... There is humor and there is an edge to it, but I'm not so sure that I would take it all the way to sarcasm. I think the change happens here, and that's a real big change. So, you have your character Brunhilde or Matilda, whatever. She's like going out for shopping. She's happy. She sees her girlfriends. She's waiting for her beau, and then the plague. Right? So something major happens there that you need to address, right? Oh no. Much more aggressive. And that contrast is, if you have a really good image in your head, I think that makes all the difference in the music.
And now an impromptu interpretation by Ezra. When I think of this line, it's like really smooth. It reminds me of cruising. So naturally, I set this to skating. That kind of sounds like a greeting to me. So I see a fellow skater, let's say my friend Rami, and he sees me too. Uh-oh, the cops show up because we're trespassing. Let's go to Dunkirk Skate Park. Oh no, there's caution tape because it's closed for COVID. How about we jump over it? There's a cop car and it's coming closer. You kids need to get out of here. I'm sorry, officer. You promise not to skate? Perhaps. Wink. I'm so sorry. And now we're skating again. Why don't we try and nose grind on the bumper of that empty cop car? It'll be fun. Uh-oh. The cop car is actually not empty. And we're screwed. Actually, I don't know how to get out of this one. Ah, Eliran bails me out.
It took me a long time to get to the point that I stopped seeing Mozart as this very pristine. It has to be just very precise, and the note lengths and articulation. I remember that used to drive me nuts. It's like everything has to be like pearls in Mozart. It's like, who cares? It took me a long time to see beyond that and to see that there's always a character. There's always somebody standing there trying to express, doing something. It's always an opera scene. There's always a subplot. There's always a dialogue. There's always some drama. He's making fun of somebody. He's going to, play a prank. Probably involving some gas, and so on and so forth. And then, the drama thickens. I guess the prank went south. There's always something there. This. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned for my pranks. It it's never just about even 16th notes or sparkly stuff. There's always drama, there's always joy behind it. And I think a lot of people get confused when they work on Mozart, when they play Mozart, that it has to be about being pristine and being accurate. It really has to be about the drama and what the notes are trying to convey.
In conclusion, I've actually come to really appreciate Mozart. There's joy, mischief, and the occasional cynicism in his music, the same ideas that run parallel to me as a skater. And though it seems quite the paradoxical lifestyle to be skater and pianist, hey, it works out sometimes. #SkateMozart.